When I auditioned for I auditioned for several of them. What's the vampire hunter's name? Starts with a Y. Yagari? And then there's the blonde-haired vampire who wore white.
There's two blonde vampires.
Name them. Pardon? I should remember his name, but I don't. Anyway, it's been a while. So I auditioned for Zero and Yagari and this other guy, and I really just wanted to be a part of Vampire Night. And the guy that runs Bang Zoom knows that I wanted to be really wanted to be a part of it. So he decided to screw with me a little bit. So I'd been waiting for this phone call, one way or the other. It was around Christmas time, I remember that. And I all of a sudden, my phone goes, bring, that I had a voicemail. And I was like, oh no, no. And it was an 818 number. Somebody had called me and my phone didn't even freaking ring. I was in a bad place or whatever, right? And it just went to voicemail. So I thought, oh God, I've been waiting for this call, right? And so he left a voicemail. And I started listening to the voicemail. And he said, hey Vic, this is Eric from Bang Zoom. And I was like, okay, here it is, here it comes. Yes or no? And he says the following. You did good with your audition, and I know how much you wanted to be a part of Vampire Night. And he goes, I promise you, we will work together on something in the future. I started tearing up. I swear, I started tearing up, and I was like, I didn't get anything. And I'm still listening to him. We'll work on something someday together soon. And then he said, in fact, we're going to work on something very soon because you're going to be playing Zero and Ichiru in Vampire Night. And I was like, woohoo! I'm playing Zero! Who the hell is Ichiru? I didn't even know he had a brother. I didn't know. And then I found out he had a twin brother. And that was even cooler. Because you got to voice both of them. And so what we would do, we would go into the studio and we would record all of Zero's lines and then go back and record all of Ichiru's lines. You don't want to go back and forth, right? Like crazy split personality thing, right? You want to stay with Zero and do Zero, and even in the scenes where Zero is talking to Ichiru. And then we would go back and I could hear myself, all the things that we recorded as Zero, and I would do Ichiru talking to myself and interacting with what we had recorded as Zero. So that was my favorite part of Vampire Night, actually, was playing the two brothers. Yes, I bet this guy all the way in the back. Just make us a little more money, if you can. So they gave ghost stories to ADV and basically said, do whatever you want. Well, ADV really took that literally. They brought in voice actors and didn't even write a script. Like, they let the voice actors ad-lib. The voice actors would make fun of each other. They would talk, they made fun of me. I wasn't even there, and they would poke fun of me. I seem to be the brunt of so many jokes that I don't know why. And so finally, and I didn't know anything about ghost stories, by the way. I didn't know what the other voice actors were doing with it. Lucy Christian, Chris Patton, Monica Rial, those guys, they were doing ghost stories. I was in another studio doing something else, and one day, the director of Ghost Stories said, I have a character I want you to play. He's this creepy skull-looking guy, name is Da Vinci, and he goes, in Ghost Stories, you want to come do it? I'm like, sure. Now, mind you, I didn't know anything about what they were doing with Ghost Stories. So I go in and I start recording Da Vinci, and he's this creepy kind of a bad guy. And then it starts getting kind of irreverent and just uncomfortable a little bit for me, if you know me. But I was, you know what I mean? I was kind of past the point of no return. I was like, dadgummit, got myself into this. Oh well. So when I finished recording that day, I went to the director and I said, can you put a fake name in the credits for me, please? Because I don't want people to know I did this. And the director said, well, what do you want your credit name to be? Worst mistake of my life. I said, I don't care, you pick something. Don't ever tell anybody that. I went away, went on with my life. A month and a half or two later, that volume of Ghost Stories comes out, and I was credited as Obi Frost Tips. As in ObiWan Kenobi, who has frosted tips of hair. So yes, I was in Ghost Stories many, many years ago, and and that was my character's name. Yes?
How was it like?
Hold on a second. I want everybody to hear your question.
How was it like playing Pikachu in Bleach?
Ooh, I love him, Mr. Baldy. I loved Pikachu. I loved his Lucky Dance. I don't know it, but I loved it. And I don't know if you've heard that story before, but when I first went in to record Pikachu, we're recording away. He meets Ichigo, right, in the very first scene, and he's like, man, I'm lucky. This is lucky for me. I caught you. And then he goes into this dance, lucky dance. That's what they call it, lucky dance. Well, I had just gotten into the studio. I'd never worked with these people before. They were complete strangers. And literally, I got to the lucky dance portion of the script, and it just said, does lucky dance. And I was like, where's the lucky dance? Like, where's the words? What's he saying? Because he's singing, right? Lucky. Where are they? Like, what am I supposed to be saying? And literally the director goes, well, we know that you're a songwriter and a singer. We figured you'd make something up. I was like, no pressure, thank you. So I just made something up. I'm like, okay, show it to me. And went, okay, show me again. So I wrote this, lucky, I'm so lucky as me. That's right, I said me. And then we recorded it, and that was it. But it was completely unplanned and unscripted. How are we doing on time, Aubrey?